Hello, friends. I am Gerrick Angel. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel where I invite you to dream bigger, vibe higher, and watch it happen. Dream bigger and vibe higher and watch it happen. My intention is to bring to you small practices that you can work into the life that you already have. And these small practices will make a substantial impact on your ability to manifest the life that you really want to live. On today's video, we are continuing our series on self-care. Self-care, which is really soul care, really listening at a very, very deep level to what our soul is calling for and longing for. And in particular, I'm continuing on a topic that has been part of this self-care series, and that is creating a sacred space. We talked about creating a sacred space wherever you happen to spend time, whether it be home, whether it be work. A sacred space is not necessarily a place to go to, but instead, we've chosen to make the spaces that we occupy sacred. So if you haven't seen that video, by all means, do watch it. We followed up with another video about what's on your walls, like the things that you look at on a regular basis. Are they contributing to your happiness? Are they contributing to your high vibration? Or are they doing the opposite? So we're continuing on this topic, and I want us to look at your car. How do you get from place to place? What is your method of transportation? Do you drive a car? Do you take public transportation? Do you take Uber or Lyft? Let's look at these places that you spend time. Because again, the places where you spend time, we need to try to make those our sacred spaces. Again, when we're looking at creating a sacred space, we want something that doesn't involve a huge investment in time or money. Because again, we want to utilize the life that we already have and allow it to serve our highest and greatest good. So let's look at your car. First thing off, I live in Los Angeles, and I'm fortunate. My commute is only 1.5 miles, but believe it or not, because of Los Angeles traffic, even now during the end of the pandemic, my 1.5 mile commute takes me about 15 to 20 minutes. So I spend, a good amount of time in my car. So one of the things that I do as a spiritual practice is I make sure that I get my car washed. I want to ride in a car that makes me feel good. So I make it a point not to store a lot of stuff in the car, not to have things on the back seat. I like it to be clean because when I get into a clean car, I get to relax and exhale. So think about that. If you tend to use your car as a storage area, you might consider changing that. You might consider taking out some of the things that don't need to be there so that you can have a more pleasant experience in your car. Also, when you're in your car, what are you listening to? Are you listening to the news that's depressing? Are you listening to music that's uplifting? Be mindful of what you're listening to in the car. My car tends to be my telephone booth, even though it's a very short commute. But I make it a point, if I'm on the phone in the car, again, it's with someone who lifts my vibration. So again, if I'm having a conversation in the car, it's a high level conversation that contributes to the sacredness of this space. If I'm not on the phone, perhaps I'll listen to music that is uplifting, music that makes me feel good. Rarely will I listen to the news. If it's talk radio, again, I make sure that it is something uplifting, not something that will bring me down. The other thing to think about, most cars have navigation. If your car doesn't have navigation, then your phone probably has navigation on it. So I don't necessarily need to listen to the news to hear if there's an accident and if I need to avoid an area. My navigation will do that for me. So again, resist the temptation to turn on news or things that could lower your vibration and utilize the technology that you already have to support you. So if you're using your navigation and there's something that you need to avoid, your navigation will tell you that. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to listen to the news because if there's an accident, I don't know if I'm gonna, go right into it and get stuck. No, 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 no. Let's utilize the technology that we already have. Another thing to think about is the route that you use to get to work. Maybe you might think of changing it up a bit. For instance, if you always drive past that park where the drug dealers are hanging out and it's depressing and it's dark and it's thick and perhaps even dangerous, maybe it's worth it to invest another 5 minutes to go another way, a way where you might see a beautiful park or a beautiful church and some trees. So perhaps changing your route a little bit so that your drive is a little bit more pleasant. Maybe there's train tracks that go, that split the city and you have to cross the tracks, and sometimes you make it and sometimes you're stuck there. Again, maybe we'll think about changing our route a little bit so that we can avoid sitting and waiting and waiting and sitting. Now, if you don't have a car, perhaps you take public transportation. Again, let us utilize this time to create a sacred space. Well, how can I do that when I'm on public transportation? Well, rather than running around carrying all my belongings and shopping bags, maybe I'm going to invest in a nice backpack so that I can feel good about whatever I'm bringing with me. I can bring a book, I can bring a sandwich, I can bring an iPhone, iPad, I can bring music. But again, rather than it being an afterthought, oh, let me throw everything in a bag, perhaps I'll be mindful and select a backpack. And again, it doesn't have to be the most elaborate, expensive backpack, but put some thought into it, something that brings you joy. I can feel good that I'm putting my headset in this backpack when I get on the bus. Where do I keep my bus pass? Do I just shove it in a pocket? Maybe I want to get a special wallet for my bus pass because I want it to be special and I want to feel good about it. So maybe that's something that you might consider doing when you're riding public transportation. A jacket. You probably, if you take public transportation, you probably take a jacket with you. Is it a nice jacket? Or again, is it just, an old jacket that you pulled out of the closet and you really don't care about and it really doesn't feel good? Maybe I need to choose the jacket that makes me feel good so that when I'm sitting on the public transportation, I can feel good about what I'm wearing. So again, we're just going to be a little bit more mindful. We're not going to change everything, but we're going to take a look at how do we get from place to place. Perhaps you take Uber or Lyft. Well, again, do I have a nice backpack or do I shove everything in an old grocery bag? Let's give it some thought, okay? If I'm taking Uber or Lyft, maybe I want to make sure I have hand sanitizer with me so that I can feel comfortable when I get out of the car, that I'm not concerned about, oh, what did I touch? So again, just giving it a little bit of thought. Again, small investment in time, small investment in money, but what it'll do is it will help us to raise our vibration. How do you start your day? Do you start your day, you go to work, perhaps you go to daycare to drop the kids off, maybe you go to school. Again, how am I starting my day? Do I start my day rushing through a drive-through, getting pre-made food? Or do I spend an extra couple of minutes making a piece of toast and having a cup of coffee or tea at home so that I could leave relaxed, get into my car relaxed, and have a pleasant, relaxing drive? So let's all just make it a point to look at transportation. How do I do this? How do I get from point A to point B? And can I make that part of my sacred space? What small changes do I need to do to make sure that while I'm spending this time, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 2 hours, we want it to be quality time contributing to our high vibration so that we can dream bigger, vibe higher, and watch it happen. Thank you so much for watching me. If you found value in this video, give it a thumbs up. And perhaps you have a friend who can benefit from this information. By all means, please, please, please share this information with them. We are all working together to create the world that we want to live in. And so if you invite your friends, we can all be on this journey together. And speaking of being on this journey together, there's a notification bell. If you click that notification bell, every time I post a video, you'll be notified of it so that we can take this journey together. By all means, please subscribe to my channel because, again, my intention is to bring you small practices that will make a profound impact on your ability to create the life and manifest the life that you really, really want to live. Most important of all, please, please, please comment. Let me know what practices you're incorporating, how it's working for you, and also let me know if you've run into some obstacles or roadblocks, because perhaps that could be a subject that I could create a video on. So again, we're in this journey together. Remember to dream bigger, vibe higher, and watch it happen. Again, I'm Gerrick Angel. Thank you so much for watching me. Have an absolutely gorgeous day, and I will do the same.